Hey, what's going on, guys? Here we have the 5-inch Turing Smart screen. I got this from AliExpress, and the link to the store will be posted down below in my description. I'll be using this for a hardware monitor for my PC, and I will quickly do an unboxing here. Later on in the video, we'll get to the setup without using the Turing software. There is a way around that, so more on that to come later on in the video. The best part about this display is everything is actually done by a single USB-C connection instead of an HDMI cable plus a power source like other options. Because of this, you aren't required to set this up as a secondary monitor like other external displays, which can be used to display information from IDA64, for example. If you're looking specifically for a hardware monitor, make sure to take a look at this display. So there's really not much to cover on the box. The only thing I'll really cover is this bottom corner here. 5-inch screen, as I said. It is a IPS panel, and it has a processor in it. The processor, according to Turing, handles running the display instead of using up your system resources. So we'll see how that works. So in the box, you have your user's manual, and here's your English side. If you understand Chinese, there's a Chinese side as well, but we don't really need that right now. So depending on the variation you buy, the contents inside the box may actually vary. But for the variation I got, you will get a USB-A to USB-C cable. You'll get a 9-pin cable. So this end here, get this in frame, will plug into your motherboard, and this end will plug into the display itself. You get a cheap little plastic stand, so I'll just kick that out right there. You can just set that on your desk, and the display, so I'll get that out here, just kind of sits in it like that. So you can put that on your desk, or you can put this inside your case, wherever you want to put it. And the last thing in the box is this little L bracket right here. This would install, if we take out this screw, this would simply just install right here. Screw this in, and now you can mount this anywhere within your PC case, anywhere on your desk, however you want to mount this. So getting this out of the way, up in this top corner right here, this is where you plug in that 9-pin cable. If you don't want to use the 9-pin cable, then over on this side, right here, you can plug in your USB-C cable, and right here you can also put in a memory card. I believe it's a micro SD card. What the function of that is, I'm not too sure on, so I won't cover that. And that will conclude the unboxing portion of this video, and we'll move on to the hardware setup.
Okay, so with the Turing software, this is just going to be a brief overview of what it's capable of. If anyone has any questions, make sure to post a comment down below and I'll try and answer it to the best of my ability. Please keep in mind that this program will not be my primary means of controlling this display. I will be using the second program that I'll cover in the next part of the video. So with the start mode right here, I'm under device, by the way, it will be on default, and default mode is just this regular screen that comes preloaded on the display. If you want to change this, you can go play image or play video. When you do select a setting here, make sure to click save. And with the SD card slot that I've kind of briefly covered in the unboxing video, I have figured out what you can use that for, and you put a micro SD card in it, and I believe it supports up to 256 gigabytes. And all it's really mainly used for is just expanding the storage of the display. And that storage, you would upload either images or videos, which you can select here, or use them to play in like a background for one of your themes you may make. So with start mode selected for play video, you can either upload it directly to the SD card and plug it into the screen. I actually find the easiest way is to upload directly through the Turing software itself. Because if I go here, this was a GIF that I tried to upload directly to the SD card, and it's actually not supported because it's not in the right file format. But if I go back to video, this is the exact same file, but I uploaded it through the Turing software. And now you'll see what it'll actually play down here. The Turing software actually seems to be able to convert file formats to the proper file for it to actually play on the screen. You'll notice it's upside down. If you want to fix that, all you do is click upload, find the image, GIF, whatever you want to upload, click on open, and right down here you'll find these two rotate icons. Flip it upside down and hit apply. And now if we replay that, it's now flipped. So you can play GIFs, once again, provided they're in the right file format, or you can even play videos. The only disadvantage is there's no speaker. So you're not going to have audio. And anyone who plays Helldivers, you'll know where this is from. So that's basically what this screen is. If you go to home, this is where you will have preloaded themes you can select from. You can change the rotation of said theme, and you can change the brightness of the display. So let's just select a theme here real quick. Where did it go? That's up here somewhere, right here. And you just click run and it'll replace whatever you just had playing. So the Turing software is good for basic computer information, and the average user probably will be fine with using this program. Here you have your CPU usage, your temperature, your GPU usage, everything that you really need to know. If you need to flip it, just click rotation 0. It'll flip the image for you. You can select another theme. Let's just say Viper. I need to flip that 180 degrees. And there's a new theme for you. Let's say you find a theme in this menu right here and you like it, but you want to add something to it. Or you may even want to create your own theme. All you do is you click on this button right here and it will give you this new menu. To create your own theme, it's very simple. Just in this bottom left-hand corner, if you're using your screen in a horizontal manner, make sure to click horizontal. If it's vertical, keep it as vertical. This top left-hand corner is where you would add everything. So let's add a data item. This one's going to be the CPU usage. And let's add some text and call it CPU. To change the color, just click on color and choose a color. If you want to do a different color, you can do this one and you will have your own color wheel. So let's do blue. I'm just going to create a very basic one just so you guys can get the idea. Let's add another data item. And if you want to change it, all you do is click at this drop down menu and let's do GPU usage. Add some text and call it GPU. Again, to change the color, click it down here and sure, let's just do orange because why not? Once you're done, click save and that's that. If you want to edit an existing theme, all you do is you click on Load Theme and find the theme you want to change. Let's just go down here. And the bottom left-hand corner, make sure you change this to horizontal because this is a horizontal screen. And these Chinese characters, to change them to English, all you do is click on them. Some of them will change and some of them won't, like this one right here and this one. If you want to find out what it is, all you do is you click on it, click anywhere on your screen here and start dragging. So here we're moving the 88. So it is the hard drive temperature, or right here, it also says hard drive temperature. So to edit it, very simple, the same thing here. Let's just add a bar. Here's your little bar, and we'll make this the GPU usage again. Why not? Click on save. And now, if we stop this and click a run, there's our bar. And to go to the custom one we just made, there's that one. So the Turing software, it's good for the average user that may just want basic information about their computer. And what I mean by that is I will just go back into theme here and I will load up my custom theme that I made. If I, for example, want to see my graphics card's encoder, I can't see that through this program because all I can see is what's in this drop-down menu. And if I go to my graphics card, I can see the temperature, the clock speed, my VRAM usage, my GPU usage, power, the fan, the voltage, and the model. That's it. So in this screen right here, you'll see my GPU is currently hovering around 10 to 15%, somewhere around there. That's not my actual usage that I'm concerned about right now. I want to see my encoder. My encoder is usually around 74%, and we'll see that in the next program. So before we get into the next program, it does utilize HWiNFO. So I just want to briefly go over the setting that you need to have checked so the next program can work properly. With HWiNFO open, all you need to do is go to the setting icon, go to main settings, and make sure shared memory support is checked. If you have the free version, you have a 12-hour limit on this. Now, once your 12 hours is up, you just go back into HWiNFO, re-enable this setting, and you're good to go. So this is a program that I like using, and it's called InfoPanel. It's used in conjunction with another program called HWiNFO, and simply put, it allows you to make custom-made sensor panels like this one right here. And it allows you to have more information than what the Turing software can actually display. Like, for example, here's my encoder right here, and it's already at 75%. Whereas the Turing software just couldn't display that information for me. So to get this to work, all you simply do is go down to settings, and you can either have this as a display like this one right here on your main monitor, secondary monitor, whatever. Or you can turn around and use a USB panel, a beta panel, a Turing Smart Screen 3.5 inch, or a 5-inch display just like this one down here. And just to start from scratch, I will shut this off. And now that my screen has rebooted, since in the Turing software I set it up to load a video upon restart, it's just going to play that Helldivers clip again. All that is saved within the sensor panel itself on the info panel. And all you do in the info panel to get that displayed again, you go to your Turing Smart Screen 5 or 3.5 inch display if you're using that. Find your COM port it's on. Mine's on 4. Select what profile you want it to display. And since my screen is quote unquote upside down, I need to rotate the image by 180 degrees and turn it on. And it will override my video. So if you want to create a new profile, all you do is you go up to this profile menu right here, or on home, you can click on profiles. And you can either download profiles from online. Keep in mind, this is not a very widely used program like IDA64, so there may not be as many profiles you can download, but I do have one for an example. So I'm just going to delete it. All you do is you click import, select your profile, open, and it will open it up right here. Now, this sensor panel is made for a monitor, which I assume is twisted sideways because it does not fit on my display, as you can clearly see. So I'm going to just shut that off. And if you want to get information out of that display, all you actually have to do is take your .InfoPanel that you downloaded and rename that as a .zip. And that will give you a zip file. So in the zip file, you have the assets folder, which I already extracted out right here. And in this, I will just quickly turn this back on to show you. All these images in here are used to create bar graphs like this GPU load bar right here. There's another pack I have downloaded, and it's just more dials, fan bars, which is this graph down here. And I also have, where is it? I'm also using this gauge 2 right here. That's used for like these temp bars, load bars, encoder bars. So close out of that, minimize that. So if you want to create a new profile, just click on new. It will give you a new white blank page. You can drag this to whatever size you want, move it to whatever monitor you want. If you want, you can change this to 1920 by 1080p and have just a big monitor as just a hardware monitor if you really want. So just close out of that. If you want to edit a profile, all you do is you go to this design tab down here and just make sure you have the proper profile selected. This one's profile 1, this one's profile 2. And for this example, I'm going to add the D3D usage for my graphics card. So in this menu here, and once again, everything's provided by HWiNFO, and InfoPanel takes that information and displays it down here. So to add the D3D usage, you might have to look through all of your drop-down menus depending on what's under them, but these ones just happen to be the VRMs. So I can close those out and go to this one. And I'm just going to go down to D3D usage, and you have 4 options. You can select this as a text, which is just this 57 degrees here, for example. You can put it as a, I believe this is a bar graph. Yeah, bar graph, which using my mouse is this gray available bar right here, which is for my system memory. You can put it as a graph, which is this orange graph down here. Or you can add it as a gauge, which is this graph right here for the temperature, or it's this fan graph. So I'm just going to use that as an example. So I'm going to add this as text. It's going to put it up on the screen right here. Down here, I will change the font size to 18. And I can drag that over here. And let's say you didn't want the percentage symbol. You can do override unit and just delete the percent. Or maybe you want a question mark. Just put in a question mark and there you go. 18 question. So delete that. Otherwise, if you turn override unit off, it's going to go default back to percent. just something I want to add on here. If you want to further customize your panel by getting certain values to change colors as they increase or decrease, you can very easily do that by using the Sensor Properties panel down here. In this example, I'm going to use my CPU temperature, and I'll set my base color as green. Threshold 1 is set for 70 degrees, and it's yellow. Threshold 2 is set for 80 degrees, and it's red. This modifier is not something you're going to use a lot, but it's used if you want to add or subtract a set number from one of your values. So in this example, I'm going to add 20. Now my CPU temperature is now yellow. If I add 30, it's now red. Set that back to 0. And after you fill everything out here, once you're happy with all of your changes, make sure you click Save. I can do the same thing for my GPU encoder, for example. Set this to green. Threshold, I will set for 80%. And threshold 2, I will set for 90%. Threshold 1, yellow, with threshold 2 being red. Now if I add 20, you'll see I'm up at 94%. It turns red. And add 10, now it's yellow. To add this graph right here, you will, same thing, D3D usage, I'm just going to add it as a gauge. So click Gauge, and then that will give you this menu down here. So to add the images for it, you can select up to 101. You just go to this button right here, select New Images, go to the appropriate folder where your images are, and scroll down to the images you want to use. I'm going to use these. So gauge 2 all the way to gauge 15. Open, and here is your bar. So same thing, take it, click, drag over, and down here you can scale it down or you can scale it up if you want to. So just scale it down just a little bit. And drag that over. And for text, down in others, just click text. And then erase this here, and I'm just going to name it D3D. Font size will be 18. And drag that over there. If you want any fine-tune adjustments, you can turn around and use this placement control down here. You can use it by 1 pixels, 5 pixels, 10, or 20. And you can use these arrow keys to move it around, like so. So I will just put that right about there. I'll play around with it later off screen. But that is how you would add a new menu item. And I'm just going to quickly show you guys this GPU graph down here. And go to my fans. I'll just turn these up to 100%. And down here, you'll see these graphs going all the way up. And I'll just put that back to auto. So just in case you happen to do that and it's not working properly, if you go to the menu item for it, down here you'll have the minimum and maximum value. By default, it's usually at 100, like this one right here, which is fine for temperature, unless you want to get a value more than 100 degrees, or in this case, like for D3D, more than 100%. All you do is you change that value right here, your maximum value. I changed mine to 2,950. My fans can go up to 3,000 RPM max, so that's what I did there. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. As you guys can hopefully see, the Turing software itself is good for basic information, and the average user probably will be fine with the Turing software. InfoPanel, where this comes into play, is if anyone wants more advanced information, like, for example, the encoder. The InfoPanel can display that, whereas the Turing software cannot. So that's pretty much going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to click that like button down below. If you guys have any questions about whether it's the Turing software or InfoPanel, please post a comment down below. I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. I am new to both of these programs, so keep that in mind. And other than that, I will see you guys in game soon.